You know how MP feel about this,
Man, he don't know like this shit going.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You give Donnell Jones his proper respect on this motherfucker. You don't do shit else with this show.
Woo! Right there. Yeah.
Hey man, Mariah Carey flipped that into a decent song.
Yeah,
I gotta give it that. I gotta give it that. I have to. Whew, man.
No foreplay.
No foreplay.
We are here.
Yeah, you know what? Let me start this episode by saying this. We have some episodes that like, man, we talking, we shooting the shit, we talking shit, right? And but this episode, I wish we had like a bulletin, like an alert, like your ass need to listen to this.
Yes,
yeah. We putting up all kind of red flags. And
this is a
state of emergency. Yeah.
State of emergency.
A lot of motherfucking pressure right there.
I'm sure you're used to the pressure. I'm sure.
I'm used to it. Get a lot of questions, but I can handle it.
See,
man.
So, as you can see, we got a guest, and he's got a deep voice. We've known him for a while. I'm gonna let Aunt P do your official introduction.
I feel honored. Aunt P has been my dude since scrimmaging.
I'm about to say like 02.
02, lots of battles.
Lots of battles on the hardwood.
And lots of battles
in the student center.
In
the roast.
And after this intro, I'm going to give you my story from 02 about it.
Oh, Lord.
So, our guest here today, I'm trying to give him the esteemed individual introduction because in my heart, I want to give him the ain't shit motherfucker introduction. Me and this dude go back. We've done all type of dumb shit together in college. We have literally been in the student center waiting for class to start and said, "Hey, fuck class. Let's go to St. Louis." Literally happened.
That shit did happen.
It did happen. We didn't get back to Carbondale till like 9 at night.
Yo, we made a decision like right after class started. Like, yeah, fuck class.
Yeah, and like let's just go to St. Louis
with no plan.
With none. Like.
We went to that nigga Joran house to go sit with his mom
and his wolf.
This
nigga Joran had like a whole this was like a running joke like for our last 2 years of college. Like Joran had a wolf and a fine mama,
and a fine big booty mama.
Hope you listen to this. Sorry, your mama ass, bro. Sorry, but we moved past that. We've grown up. Now he's a lawyer. Love is a lawyer.
Crazy.
What?
Yes.
Crazy.
Not take this shit to trial, lawyer.
Wait, why?
No, I do go to trial though, but I'm not like I don't do criminal law.
Right.
Okay, cool. You got me excited.
Nah.
I'll let Love go into detail about what law he actually practices for the people. Go ahead, Love.
I do student loan defense for people. So if you get sued over a private student loan from Sallie Mae, I go into court and defend you there. Bankruptcy, if you're attempting to discharge your student loans, I do those as well. And then just general strategy, particularly for government officials, government employees, because a lot of times they don't understand what forgiveness options they have available to them and setting up the loans properly. And I do that for people all over, which is it's crazy to me because, like, if you'd have told me I would have made it out of college, I wouldn't have believed you, right? Until it happened. And then I'm sitting here as a lawyer, and I have other lawyers call me to help them with their problems. I'm like, do y'all know what type of whack-ass nigga I am? What type of shit I had to do? It's crazy, but, you know, our God is a forgiving God.
Yes. He looks behind all our faults. Because they are a list of faults.
I hear it every day. Fresh, somebody trust you with their kids? And I be like, hey, yeah, I'm not the same braid wearing.
And not only trust you, right, but you're like the go-to person, right? So you're not even like third, fourth, fifth on the list.
Right.
Primary point man.
True indeed.
Which is such a flip of script type shit.
It's scary to think about. It's scary to think about when like people expect you like to do shit, to save shit at work. Like, yo, you don't know, like I used to steal shit out of the grab and go.
I'm off of
all the schemes.
All the schemes. I don't think you can make it through college without schemes.
Yo, I remember the big welfare fraud when everyone got food stamps. I can say this now because statute of limitations have passed on this, but like they were in there editing their payroll stuff just so they can get that maximum on that
link. Shout out to all the girls who worked at True Blood who swiped my ID upside down so I can get in.
Oh man, the upside down swipe.
Upside down swipe.
Show me you love me.
And my
Show
dirty,
me you love me.
And my dirty ass only ate spaghetti and cheeseburgers. So I got, so I was getting full out cheeseburgers and spaghetti. But it's a lot of Orange Crush.
It's so crazy now, like just talking with Love right now, how mellowed out he is. Like, this is the same guy. Like, Love egged me on to do the robot in the middle of the lecture hall one day. And I just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do the robot. Like no bullshit. Like Love used to egg me on to do like the worst shit.
But that was a terrible class. They should have never put all of us in the same class like that.
Yeah,
it was. We're talking about in the conference room, like one of the conference areas. So it held like maybe a good 100 students, right. And they had all the black students in 2 rows, and we all sat right next to one another. The Chappelle Show is out at this time, and motherfuckers is reenacting the robot. Go ahead, Aunt Pete, because this professor, he's not talking about shit, so stand up. And then when the white student told us to be quiet, we damn it was about to be a lynching of this white boy.
We damn it chased his ass out of Lawson.
Oh my God, dude. Don't be fucking up for the good business kids.
Hey, man,
like myself.
But enough Carbondale stories.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Hold on, yeah.
Last one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So look, it was 2002. This had to be like September, October. This is like when they got the little fake intramural. It ain't the real one in the spring, but they got the fake one
in the fall.
And we was up in the heckler section. That's what we called it. You know, up top while everybody hooping downtown. And it was me and Chase. Y'all know Chase Harris. Shout out to my boy Chase, Q Dog Chase. And somebody was talking shit to Love. I don't know why they was doing that. And he was talking shit back the whole game, pointing at motherfuckers up there. And he was coming down, pulling up from the top of the key like Kevin fucking Love. And not missing. I'm like, fuck all you bitches up there. You bitches can get this work. And I'm like, damn, man, Chase. Like, bro, I'm never transferring from this school. If this how college finna be, us hooping and talking shit like this, we never leaving.
The year that Love was like, Aunt P, be on the intramural team with me, it was like the dumbest year. And we fucked around. We lost we went kind of far in the playoff. We lost like at a buzzer beater and shit. But like that team was so fucking fun.
Was that when you failed?
No, G.
Okay.
No.
We had God Sham got that point for us. Yeah. We had law school.
Simo.
We had Simo on our squad. It was a good team, man. It was
a good solid team. Savon thought he was like the Khalid Elamid fat point guard.
What a good old Savon.
We done disrespect him about 3 times in the first 5 minutes of this podcast.
With both his names.
With both his Deion please. Deion quiet, but he...
Listen. It's some people who you literally like. Savon is a person that I'm just so happy he entered my life for so many different reasons. Like, I feel like I learned so much from Savon being in my life. I really did. And I really mean that. Like, Savon, if you got questions, we'll talk about it one day. But I guarantee you, oh man, we just need like the Carbondale stories. I damn near don't want to do it on the podcast because I feel like we need actors to reenact this shit, the Chappelle Show.
You need reenactors, but to think about that and like the community and the fellowship that came out of being in that shared experience, right?
Right.
Like, because we all go through the crucible where you're trying to make it through that first semester of first year.
Oh my God.
Right, and then we make it, and then whether we realize it or not, we're relying on one another to make it through.
Yep.
Right? Yes. For whatever moral support that you got going on, because we all got bullshit going on back home.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you did to add value to someone's life, sitting in that student center, cracking that joke with them, and talking bad about them, but then getting up and shaking hands afterwards with that person. Right. And like to sit back and think that we all made it out of that point. And I don't know if any of us ever really exhibited our full potential there. But we were able to make it out with one another and now propel going forward. Like, sitting here and watch what you guys doing this shit, like, it's so awesome to see that you've maintained your friendships a decade or so later and are trying to do something to give back. Doug, with the kids, that shit is so dope. Like, right? Like, not even the viral component of it, but just that you get buy-in from people to say, I'm going to put up my dollars to do this. It all comes back from a relationship that you may have had and developed with them. In fucking Carbondale. Of all places.
Man, and that's when I tell people, like, hey, what college you went to, Morrow? That's my last name. I went to SIU. SIU? And I just tell them, like, look, It's not what you think. It wasn't a super duper party school for us. Now we kicked it.
Kicked
Now,
it
we
hard.
kicked it.
Tell people all the time it's not a party school for black people like that.
No,
Nah.
We made our fun.
Yeah, we made our fun. But I was like the relationships that were built in Carbondale are amazing. Like literally like family type relationships. I don't know if it was just because we all we had and we just around each other so much, but them relationships is unbelievable.
I told somebody one day, like, if I went to Northern, I don't think the nigga queue would be as big as it is.
No.
Just because, like, everybody from SIU is just, like,
so tight.
So tight.
It's like the West Side.
Definitely.
Everything does not have to be traced back to the West Side fresh. Till we
I'm
just
sorry.
stop.
I'm still on my West Side half from the last episode. I'm sorry. It's coming.
Dion is looking at you almost stole.
You know, because it's like West Siders have such a complex, right?
We do.
And
We
it's
do.
like
It's the little brother complex.
everything got to be linked back to the West
It do.
Side.
It do.
It's like, I think like I can go days without mentioning the South Side, right? Just because it's like automatic. But it's like
I've
West
never had a
Siders.
date talking to Fresh. Never had a day. He not mentioned the
I
West Side.
never had 30 minutes.
God damn.
Because yo, we always fighting for validation. Y'all got white privilege.
I'm so lost.
No, I'm saying,
Where's this white privilege coming from?
No, I'm saying like the South Side is already entitled to everything. Like they already think they got the best women, they got the best guys, you know, all the real jobs. The West Side's just dirty, and we can go. Chicago can be without the West Side and still carry on greatness. You know what I mean? So kind of like that. Well, fuck 'em.
I'm trying to think of like, was there ever a point in time in my life where I saw a chick and knew she was from the West Side, and I was like, I'm still going to pursue.
Oh, man.
Yes. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Let me crack my knuckles. I see what kind of show this gonna be.
You know what? Okay. This is not gonna be that kind of show.
It's not. We are here for a purpose. We're here for a purpose.
You know, when we get our old friends here, it automatically this almost turned into a student center conversation. However,
Great way of moderating the
As we say all the time, if Dion wasn't here, this show would be off the rails all the time.
All the fucking
and you know, I can't wait because I'm gonna deliberately one day let the show go. I'm gonna sit outside and I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be hard.
Hey, real quick before you pivot though, I did want to say what I thought was dope about what you guys are doing here is that normally with podcasts, it's usually one or two hosts, right? Singular adult. But the way that you're able to incorporate your friends and then bring it in, and you have these three voices, and you're all bringing the value there, is different from that standpoint, right? And man, would you looked up? I was looking at the post you had 20-something thousand downloads, right? Later, right? And it's a small number, but it's a huge number, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, look at them boys grind. And I remember when he was like, motherfucker, I don't even know where to post this shit. I'm like, bro, put it on Stitcher so I can actually listen to it. He was like, what the fuck is Stitcher?
Right.
But now you're like, we're everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I remember you said that, and I was like, Stitcher. And I'm like, you know what? Love said that we need to be on fucking Stitcher, so how do we get on Stitcher? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the part, like, because I don't know how much people know this, but like, yo, we really be listening to shit that y'all say to us. Man,
All
we
the
listen
time.
to all of it, like, yo, what somebody said, and then it's like, well, who is somebody? Well, one person. And we say, well, you know what? Like, we need to pay attention to what they said. Like, what they said is valuable. And I be telling people all the time, like, yo, people don't realize. We look through Facebook and we're like, yo, what this person said was interesting. We should bring that to the show or bring that to the conversation. Like, that's how we build our show. Like, without the people, the show would have died a long time ago.
right, and that's what you should do because I mean, you guys, you're building a business, whether or not it's monetized as a to a point yet. That's what you're in the process of doing. So you're at a scale where you get to be responsive, right?
Right.
And so that's the most important thing to do, which is like when we're building a law practice, I have to be responsive to those customer client, those comments when they come in, and figure out how can I do this thing better, right? Because we're all vying for attention,
Right.
and then how do we go about doing that, right? Being responsive and showing that, hey, I'm listening to you, right? Whether I recognize you and send you an email saying, hey, I heard you, or I just do it in the action, and then you know, that's lifetime buyer view, listenership for you.
Yes.
So that's why we tell all y'all ass, write review, comment. I know that was real professional. Fuck all that. Leave comments, leave reviews, feedback. We love all that shit. We live for that shit. Aunt P sharpens pencils all day. He loves feedback. Give him something to do. Damn.
Hey, you know what? You know what's so funny? We had a young lady, and she went to high school with us, and I liked her comments so much. I passed it on because she was like on one of our SoundCloud, and it was an old episode, so it wasn't even new. She went and she was like, "Yo, this podcast," she called it Male Entitlement, but she said it is one of my favorite podcasts, and I was like, I like put my fist up when she said it. I was like, she's accurate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's accurate, and she's like, I know what it is, and I still like it. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate that.
Yeah, y'all like a response to the read, right? You're like a cis hetero male like response to it because it's cultural commentary, right? But it's a unique view because how the hell do you replicate Dion, Doug, and Aunt motherfucking P?
Right.
Can't. You can replicate Doug. You just get you a pot of boiling dirty water, some Spam. You know, I said I wasn't gonna disrespect Doug.
Right. I said I wasn't gonna call him Great Value Fresh.
Right.
I won't call him.
We called the truce this weekend. Let's see how long it lasts.
I am a little disappointed y'all didn't start off with the juke track this week, though.
You know,
man.
The funniest thing, I forgot that was the intro. So when I played the podcast when it first dropped, I was at work. I
lost it all over again.
Oh my God! I dropped my pen. I almost lost it by the paperclip. I was like, what?
The feedback we got from that, like we have a group chat with people who listen to the show and then we comment, we talking amongst ourselves. As soon as they heard it, you just seen everybody writing in all caps. Oh shit! Oh shit! Like that's what we was going for too. You know what I'm saying? You need that every now and then. Just throw that little quick droop track. That could have been your coffee for that morning.
Yeah.
So, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man, you have a book.
I do.
On Amazon.
I do.
You do. You have a book, and I remember seeing this book, and I remember you pushing it on Facebook. Made Plain.
Yeah.
A simple guide to repaying your student loans.
Yeah.
And sounds like we have a student loan crisis if you listen to the news.
Yeah.
And what made you want to tackle that? Like, what made you want to go into that area?
I had a mentor that it was my last job. I was clerking for a bankruptcy judge in St. Louis, and towards the end of my clerkship, this one attorney comes up to me. Shout out to Wendell Shirk. He was like, yo, let me ask you a student loan question. I was like, all right, I don't know shit about student loans except for paying mine, so let me see if I can help. He said, well, you're the most equipped one here because you're the youngest one out of all of us in this practice. Mm-hmm. He asked me the question, I knew the answer. He was like, yo, you can get money at this. And I was like, how? Because all the information is free. How do you get this? Because there's all these government services set up. And then he was like, here, take this book, and it's what we call the Student Loan Bible. It's put out by a consumer group that kind of walks you through all the regulations and laws of student loans. Mm-hmm. And I sat down and read it over like a weekend. I was like, okay, I know this. Now, how do I monetize it? I still didn't know. And then I started getting calls from some of my classmates asking about, or not even calls, like Facebook posts. They're asking about what the value of consolidating your student loans, or how to deal with a creditor. And I'm like, if you're a lawyer and you're struggling with this, maybe there's opportunity for me there. Because if a lawyer's struggling, a lay person's struggling. Mm-hmm. And I started just getting into it, and it was like, okay, I was able to develop a niche. And going back to building a small business, like building a business, you can either choose to attack everything, or you have lawyers that do everything, right?
Right.
Or you just say, I'm going to put my focus here, and I'm going to dominate this area right here. And even though I didn't know how to monetize or anything, it was a small enough area where I could make a name for myself. And that was 3 years ago, and here I am. Mm-hmm. And this is what I do full time, student loans all day.
That's dope shit. I love when people find their lanes and just get in it.
Or your lane finds you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That what happens a lot of times. You looking for your purpose. Your purpose is right there, slapping you dead in the face.
You ain't talking about like when Walmart have sales on Flaming Hots, are you?
Not now. But who am I to deny any blessings from the Most High?
Oh man!
Right. But I think tying this in together, like with Carbondale, the lessons that I learned sitting at the table, the ability to think quick on your feet, the ability to tie in and manage relationships with people, like have helped me here in this, because like you have to think quick on your feet when you're talking to clients and process the information that they're having, that they're presenting to you, because people are presenting all these facts and they're looking for a solution, and they ain't got time for all that like legal blah blah blah. They just want tell me what to do, and you got to be able to process quickly. And it's like, okay, cool. This is meant for me. All that shit talking I did allows me to relate to a lot of my clients, right? And understand it. It's like, I'm sure for you teaching, it makes it super effective for you.
All day roasting how I got my rapport with the kids. You know?
Wait, so you talking shit about the kids and connect you to them?
You got to.
Come on, bro. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a walking joke. So they go take a shot.
Right.
Tomorrow, your big lip. Oh, you got them? You got $1.25 worth of ground beef in your head. Now the kids, he might be shocked, but the rest of the kids going crazy. Oh, Morrow got bars. Even if he's hurt.
Right.
I got his respect now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I can stoop down to his level.
And if you ain't got your respect, you got his fear.
Yeah.
So talking shit about kids is your way of having an individual handshake for each kid.
That's all it is. and it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but if you're in it, then you can see how it ties in. You know what I'm saying? Now I got the respect of that kid. Now that kid can come and talk to me about anything. If I can take his jokes, he can take my jokes. That's a relationship builder right there.
It's crazy, like how like when you take something out of the context, it sounds crazy, but when you're in it, it's super effective, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of like how when we deal with athletes, when we look at what they do inside athletes, and you're like, why would you ever do that? Why are you at the club at 4:00 in the morning? You don't understand the context of what the life is.
Right.
Exactly. And then, I get a lot of, how do you have such great relationships with the kids? I was like, you can't always talk at kids.
Right.
That's why we always talk, hey, don't be their friend. It's not that I'm trying to be their friend. I'm just trying to be something that no one else is to them. They don't have this type of love. They don't have no man who can hug them and say I love them or crack a joke with them. They don't have that. So why would I come to school and be that person who says, no, stop that, do this? If you're doing what you're supposed to do and the kids see you, they'll automatically straighten up. You don't even have to say anything. I see kids, shirts getting tucked in, hats getting took off, cell phones getting put up. I don't have to say anything.
That's good.
I love listening to kids.
Yeah.
Like when they talk, 'cause kids are just like, and I don't even like using the term kid, but just a young person, when the way they talk to you, like when they know you listening, I tell people it's next level. Like, because they will blow your mind and you be looking like they give you a theory on life at 12 and you're like, you're exactly right. And I didn't know that until I was 27.
But part of it is, I think they're not clouded by the bullshit that we're clouded with in our mind.
Man.
Right? So their information is a lot smaller, so they see things much more simply than we do, right?
Right.
And then you listen to them like, you goddamn right. That simple ass answer, right? It cuts through all of it. But we get so complicated in how we view the world, and really it's just a series of simple decisions going forward.
Because the kids definitely the reason behind me want to open up my own mentor and tutoring center, because I'm helping kids at school with their homework, and they like, you help me better than so and so and so and so. Why you not teaching so and so and so and so? Then I got to look at myself like, why am I not teaching so and so and so and so?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
And then they saw the picture of you with them shades on.
Yeah.
And they like, and they be rooting for me. Like y'all gotta understand, like when you in a certain situation with kids, the kids root for you. Like if when the kids like just say a parent or a friend, they done seen my Snapchat or some stuff. Oh, Mr. Morrow got a Snapchat and he used filters and it was in black and white. Joe, that's the kids love that because kids think adults live on a different planet. First and foremost. So if you're doing anything that the kids doing, it's like the illest thing. If I tell them I listen to Love Fo, what you know about Love Fo? You listen to now that's another thing. Now we good. Now for 2 days I don't got to worry about this kid doing nothing because I like Love Fo. Now by the end of the week he might cuss me out. But for 2 days we got a little decent. We can talk about one song.
Okay. So Love, let me ask a question. What are some student loan myths that we as young professionals believe that are like totally off base? That you like this common shit that you hear, you like, nah, that's not right.
I think it's really like social media feed, right? Like on Facebook, those sponsored ads that talk about forgiveness. And so people come to me and they have this belief that there's some pill that you take or some magic wand that you wave and the shit is just forgiven. Or we over extrapolate something or over apply it. So these for-profit colleges, Corinthian College got shut down a couple years ago, and the federal Department of Education says we're going to forgive these X amount of students loans, right? And then that gets like applied to like everything. People think, oh, I went to this school that got closed down, so I get forgiveness, and I don't have to do anything for it, right? And it's like, yes, there are some abilities to get your loans forgiven or discharged, what we call it in some cases. However, it's usually very narrow, and it's usually not. You just don't sit there and it just happens for you. You have to take an assertive step forward to get that. And so that's the biggest thing I see, because like people don't want to deal with the reality of you borrow these loans, even if you didn't understand the consequences of them at that time. Because I remember for financial aid, we weren't worried about like what we were signing. We were worried about if we can get enough money to go get us some Air Force Ones.
Yes.
Right. Because you had to go buy 2, 3, 4 pairs of all white ones at the beginning of the semester to hold you down.
To make it.
Yes.
So
these hoes weren't gonna get themselves. I'm sorry. That was in my spirit. I'm sorry.
But it's real though. That's how it was. So we weren't paying attention. We were just like, okay, let me sign this paper. My refund check should be here in a couple weeks, so I can pay my rent and make sure my black ass stays here, and I don't have to go and lay on my couch. Right. Now we're dealing with it post graduation, and we think that there's a magic route out of this. There has to be a way. There has to be some way to get out of this, and there is. There's forgiveness options, but you have to play the game appropriately, right?
Right.
Where I see people missing out the most on is people that work for it. They teach, they work, they're police officers, things like that. They believe that they have forgiveness coming to them. They're like, oh, I'm good. I have Obama forgiveness. No, it don't work like that. You have to have the right type of loans. Right. So it's not just federal loans, but it's a certain type of federal loan. Yeah. And people don't look at their loans. They just put their head down and like, okay, I'm paying X amount of dollars. Or they don't even pay. They just forbear or defer because they're like, this payment's too high. But there's a way to get that payment as low as possible. Yeah. And then get as much forgiveness as possible, but we're not taking advantage of those things, and that's the saddest thing that I see. Because if you just do what you're supposed to do, you can damn near pay back zero and get hundreds of thousands of loans forgiven. But you got to play the game the right way.
Okay. I just need one cheat code before you leave. I don't need.
All right, so let's talk about it like this. So you work for Chicago Public School District,
exactly.
All right. So it doesn't matter what your position is. Let's start there. Does not matter what your position is. You could be the damn janitor, the kitchen lady. You could be the school superintendent.
You just in luck because he's a janitor.
Right? So long as you work for the government or a qualifying nonprofit. What's a qualifying nonprofit? Like a 501c3 usually, right? So government. You work for the government and you work full time, right? Yes. You got 2 steps down right there. Boom, you win. Next thing, you have to be on an appropriate repayment plan. So usually most people are doing like some form of income-driven forgiveness. Usually just like income-based. They turn over their tax return or their pay stub, and they get this low-ass payment. Some of it can be as low as $0, but in your case, it's probably going to be close to a couple $100, right? Then you got that step down. Now you have to make payments for 120 months, right? And that's 120 monthly payments. So that equates to roughly 10 years. You got that part. The last part you need to do is go look at your loans. Not your servicer, not like, oh, I pay Fed Loan, I pay Great Lakes. But there's a website called National Student Loan Data System, and that's the federal repository for loans. They look at all your loans and they say, here's everything you took out. You want to look on that site, National Student Loan Data System, and you want to look at your loans and see what type of federal loans you have. So you need to know, do you have direct loans? Do you have Perkins loans? Do you have federal family education loans? People just say, I got Stafford loans. Okay, what the hell does that mean? I need to know, are they direct or not? Because only direct loans qualify. So you may have had all those other steps. You may have had work for the government on a right repayment plan. You work full time, and you're making enough payments, but do you have the right loans? Right. And that's the last step you just need to confirm. Do I have the right loans? Okay, that's it. And if you do that, now the next cheat code is, okay, how do I minimize my payment? Now, I'm paying a couple $100 a month. How do I get that down to zero, right? And you do that by, with the last episode you had with the tax lady, you do that by decreasing your adjusted gross income. And how do you do that? Contribute more towards your 401k, or in your case, 403b or something like that, right? So why wouldn't you pay yourself first instead of paying back your loans? Because if you decrease your adjusted gross income, your payment goes down. Or have more kids, right? Like, because
don't tell Fresh to have any more kids.
Because I've been doing legs in the gym. I'm ready to pop another one.
Jordan already think he got 10.
Yeah, I'm close.
But that's what your payment is. Your income driven repayment is based off of is your household size and your adjusted gross income for your most recent tax year. Now, household size is a crazy thing because it's not just your kids, right? It's not just your kids. It's not just your spouse. It could be your spouse and your living side piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be that because it doesn't matter. It could be you stay at home with your mother and her husband. If you pay half the bills around there, right, then you get to count them because you're supporting them by providing half the support. So that's your household size. So it's not about can you claim it on your taxes. That's a different question. It's what's my household size. Now, a lot of times people, they don't pay attention to that because if you call in to like Fed Loan and you say, hey, I need to recertify because I got this bill and I can't afford this $1,200 much y'all asking for. You do that, they say, okay, what they ask you a question like, what's your household size? You be like, what does that mean? You be like, well, are you married? And you be like, nah. Do you have any kids? Yeah. Do they live with you? One does. All right, cool. Your household size is 2. They're not asking you other questions about what's your household size, like who else lives with you, right? Because the definition of household size is this person going to live with you? Do you provide more than half the support in the form of cash, food, gifts, tuition, things like that? And they're expected to live with you throughout the year. That's it. That's it. So that could be your side piece. That could be her kids, all of that stuff, if you expect at that time. Now, things change down the year. Who gives a shit? It's about that time that you're certifying.
And see, and this was crazy because you breaking it down to a T, like, and it's so simple. In the same way, like when the tax lady was on here, breaking it down, it was so simple. But no one tells us this. We're so nervous and scared about everything.
I think one of the things that I always encounter is that a lot of times we don't want to research, and a lot of times even past our research, when we see somebody who says they're an expert, for some reason we won't go to that person. Like we won't go to that person even just for an initial conversation to say, hey, here's my position. Can you help me? Or can we have a conversation to see if your services will help me out? Like a lot of people won't do that because they heard some old wives' tale at some point that said, nah, you stuck with this. And it's like, that thinking, I'm like, yo, like, that's thinking, I'm like, that thinking has buried me before. And I'm like, I learned my lesson.
Yeah. I think about it like, I think it comes culturally for us. And I don't have an anthropology degree or anything like that. So this is just my random assessment here. But like, when you listen to comedians and they talk about how like white people are when there's like something curious, they walk into it and they go investigate it, right?
Right.
And then they end up getting popped off usually in a joke, how the joke ends. Right. And black folks, we hear something and we take off running the opposite way, right? But that's culturally what's happening to us here in this situation, right? Yeah. And you see, okay, this person got it forgiven. You won't go out and ask questions about why and how. You'll just say, that's not for me, right? Or whatever have you. You won't go seek out the professional, ask these questions, right? Which is crazy. But we have to get past that, right? Because like, no one makes it in this world on their own and has any quality of life. You may have like, you survived, right, on your own. But did you excel? And the only way you excel is by finding people better than you and more informed than you and leaning on that person. And then the question becomes, how do you trust this person, right? And we look for testimonials and things like that, but in this era of like, you can buy likes and you can buy shitty reviews that all pretty much say the same thing. It's hard to tell, but that's why like it's important for me to have talks with you guys because you can vouch for me as a person, right?
Yes.
And say, okay, love has been all these other things, but what I've known to be is someone who understands things and is willing to break it down or whatever have you. And I trust this thing right here. And I appreciate that now it's upon me to make sure I validate that trust going forward, right? Because this is you putting your stamp on me, like one way or the other. So now I have to make sure I uphold my end of the bargain here. And let's keep going like that. But
and it's a responsibility on us too, that since we know you to be trustworthy and be very knowledgeable of the situation, to put you on here to send this message out to all the people who listen to us.
Yeah.
Because this is like Fresh said, like when you broke that shit down, I've never heard that shit broke down like that before. I just heard student loans, woe is me, pay your shit off, or just, hopefully you die early and then say fuck it.
Oh man, let me piggyback on what you're saying, MP. Here's what I want to say. We've never had anybody on the show that we didn't believe in or co-sign.
Exactly.
You don't get to sit in the chair if we don't fuck with you. Yeah. Like, ain't no amount of money you can offer us. You know what? Let me not. If somebody say, hey, you know what? I'm going to offer you some money to come on the show, you'll know because it'll be the driest show you ever heard. You'll be like, damn, they don't fuck with him.
Quick pay.
But listen,
PayPal, cash.
I guarantee you that if y'all all just go ahead and call Love, by the time he done with y'all, right? The day parties in the summer probably gonna be lit. The people like it's gonna.
And I feel, and here's where I started. It's like I start with the transparent part. You don't need to hire me, right? Like you can get all this information for free, because I want you to understand why you're hiring me. You're hiring me because you don't feel like cooking that night. Essentially, I'm no different than takeout, right? I'm no different from the mechanic, right? I am the same thing. You don't want to get underneath there and change your oil because you have to go look at YouTube. You got to go try to figure all this shit out. You're hiring me for convenience for the most part. There's certain things that if you're being sued in state court over a private student loan, you may need me at that point, right? Or you need legal services. But to handle your repayment things, you can do all that yourself, but you have to take the time to really understand. Then you got to ask yourself, is my time better spent doing something else and hiring a professional to handle this for me, right? And then also hiring me to make sure that it gets done, right? Because there may have been times with you guys when you're handling your student loans where the first time you send off the paperwork, they don't get it, and then you got to follow up and you got to do this, and it gets frustrating, and you got to stay on the phone and do all that. That becomes my responsibility at that point to make sure it goes forward. And I want to always start there that let me let you know you can do this yourself. You don't need to hire me, right? Because I'm gonna make more money in the long run just by being honest with you, and because you're gonna refer people to me, and I hold that belief. So it's not about the quick kill; it's about the long term wins. Because I care about relationships. I don't care about the bread like that. But I want my money.
Don't get it wrong.
Don't get it twisted.
On time.
On time.
On time. I'm not cheap, right? Like I'm not cheap, but I want my money. But I'm gonna make sure I take care of you.
Yeah, let me go back. We
Yes,
had
sir.
an episode a long time ago where we had Kelly Knight from KMR.
Right.
Law Group.
Yeah.
And I think she pointed out when she was talking like, yo, like other cultures, other races, whatever have you, like they keep some representation. Like they keep and I was like, and you know, when I thought about that, I was like, damn. Like, and then it made me think about like my network. I'm like, gee, like I know lawyers, I know this person. I'm like, why am I not using them? Like, and it made me think like, I'm like, yo, like why am I still using TurboTax? I was like, no more TurboTax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like things like that. Like,
You shouldn't, because if you spend $75, you get a qualified professional do your taxes for you.
right.
And to look for loopholes that this computer could not even ask you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
$75.
Right.
And even if you didn't gain anything from hiring a professional other than you had a professional do it, you also contributed to this small business, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Which is that's your way of paying it forward. That's your way of being a revolutionary.
Right. Listen. Okay, so I'm looking at Love's website right here. So let me tell you, this website is awesome. So I want y'all to go to it because it's really dope. Like, you know, I'm an internet guy. I'm a techie, and for me to compliment your website, I'm like, it's hard, but it's like, yo, like, so the website is TateESQ.com. So TateESQ.com. It's awesome. And one thing I find is funny is like you got down here like so many ways to reach you. I was like, man, Love is really accessible. Like
that is my personal cell phone on there, right? Because like what people be like, oh, aren't you worried about people calling you at any time of the day? I want you to call me, right?
Right.
But I also trust that people aren't going to be disrespectful in when they call you, right?
Right.
That for the most part, people follow social norms. So I want you to have contact with me because we live in an age now where it's easier for you to text me than it is to call me, right? So shoot me a text, right? I'll answer, I'll respond. If I can help you, I can help you. Cool. If I can't, I can't.
Right.
But about the website, though, real quick, shout out to Sarah Huny Young. She dope ass designer, super dope. She did Very Smart Brothers.
Okay.
She's responsible for their website and a bunch of other work.
We need to see them actually.
You reach out to her. She's
not her. We need to see them.
Oh, you need to see them? Damon Young and them?
Them.
What? Okay, you got some words.
Yes.
Okay, no doubt. But no, she's a really talented graphic designer and African American woman. And if anyone needs her, I highly recommend her. She's super dope.
Cool. Sarah Huny Young.
Sarah Huny Young. Find her on Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. So, man, I usually get all types of questions, but I feel like, man, feel like you answered like almost everything.
That's what
Yeah, I was gonna say like
He's breaking that shit down so perfect.
Yeah,
Like
breaking it down so perfect.
Let's do this one then. With the thing that and many of us may not have it at like they went to Carbondale, so we don't even think about it because a lot of us didn't get private student loans, right?
Right.
We just took out the federal because Carbondale was cheap enough where the federal took care of us. But you have a lot of friends who have private student loans. They're going through hell with Sallie Mae.
Yeah.
My number one advice to you is if you're struggling to repay that loan and you can't come up with that money that they're asking for, you may want to consider not paying them at all. And yeah, your credit's going to take a hit, but your credit's already probably taking a hit because you haven't been making the payments that they've been requesting. So long as you give them a little bit, they'll never work with you on settling this loan and coming up with a plan, a monthly payment that makes sense on a continuing basis, not just on a 1 year, 2 year basis. And so let me say this again, if you have a private student loan and you can't afford a monthly payment, you may want to purposely not pay to encourage them accepting a term on a going forward basis that makes sense for you budget-wise.
Ooh.
nuggets
keys.
for free.
Keys.
For free. Oh my God. You hear that out there, girl? Don't pay nothing. Give them like 4-5 months to think about what the fuck is going on. Then they go come back at you instead of paying the 132. You might only pay the 32.
How many West Side voices you got? Like you got a lot of them.
I got one for like every area. You know what I'm saying?
You got one
now
for
this right here, this really my Lammy voice right here.
I hate you so much.
And like none of them
This boy.
require you to actually open your mouth.
Man, that's the thing.
If I open my mouth, it's gonna be real talk like that. It'll be real fast. That's the real fast West talk like that.
Let's end this podcast, Matt, before I call him out his name again.
You know what? Listen. It's certain episodes we can't use the West Side voices
Okay.
because it
Okay,
takes
this
away
is the
from
one.
the legitimacy.
Okay. Well, actually, I got you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you. You know, I want to bring something up. So a couple of things before we get out of here, because it's we are speaking of you was bringing us up working with the youth. I'm excited. So March 11th, we are a part of. I don't want to call it. It's a summit, and it's called the Z Summit.
Mhm.
And no foreplay was brought on. The website, so y'all can check it out, is thezsummit.info. So we're gonna be working with the youth. It's supposed to be about 150 youth. It's at IIT. We there to specifically inspire the youth, show them different career exploration experiences. So we there. We're gonna be holding some workshops for the kids. It's crazy. So we literally gonna do some podcasts with the kids. I think this is gonna be great.
Did y'all invite Pastor Scott?
Fuck him.
You
Got
know
all
what?
about it.
You know what?
I did not do.
I looked
Listen,
around.
I was like,
First how big my ass got. Bro, I ain't never been speechless. I couldn't even fix the right jab.
I couldn't either. I'm sitting here like, look, you know what? Before we get to that, look, the MC for this event is Whitney Young alumni, and she also won an Emmy. Gaynor Hall from the WGN News. The keynote speaker is Marquise Parker, and I know he's another dynamic guy. But we're gonna be on the panel. KMR Law Group, they're gonna be there as well. So we in good company, man. We're gonna be sitting there talking to the youth. It's gonna be very interesting. Like I said, I love talking to the youth. Hopefully, we can actually put those podcasts out. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope.
Yeah.
So we will see. Like our good friend brought this summit to fruition, and I'm excited. Like, so some of the partners on this are the Chicago Urban League Leadership Development Program, a company called One Stock, One Future, that inspires to teach kids about the stock market, and they all leave with a share of stock. So it's pretty big, pretty heavy. I'm excited. I just wanted to bring that out there. So take a look at the website. I'm pretty sure it's ways to get involved. Yeah. So what else was I gonna say? The Pastor Scott shit, man. Can we I hope that Pastor Scott decide he gonna come to the city and do like a guest sermon one day.
I am there. I am there. I'm wearing my good suit.
That's gonna be the
I
most
am there.
packed.
I am ready, and I'm with the shits on a Sunday. With the shits.
I wish you can do the podcast.
Man.
No.
I would want him to do the podcast.
I mean, you're right. I would want him to do it as well. However, this room is small, and
yeah. I don't know what I would do if he was sitting next to me, lying.
Because you can't.
Y'all can sit next to each other.
You can't lie because essentially, like the thing about Chicago is this: we will damn near protect anybody from here almost.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said top gang thugs, like that term, I think pissed everybody off. Even the grandma who at home whose son got 3 bodies and ain't nobody turned them in yet. She was like, "What is he?" She was pissed.
You don't know my baby Jim.
It was rough, man. It was rough.
That man asked me, "What have I done for the community?"
It was rough. But look. To wrap up this episode, I know y'all gonna hear this whenever y'all hear it. But I just want to say congratulations before we leave. Chance the Rapper won a fucking Grammy as an independent fucking artist, like for real.
Look at Lil Channel from 79.
Chance the Rapper won. I'm excited.
Gotta be.
I'm excited. He might take. I feel like I don't know. He gonna take that Grammy somewhere everywhere. Like he should take it on tour like the fucking Cubs, right?
Like the Black Hawks did their trophy and shit.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Solange won a Grammy too.
Solange, I'm looking for you. I think you like a Bottle Junior Coochie.
I do. I wrote a love note to Solange just on Facebook from like 2009, and I need some credit for my note.
But I'm weary.
You know what? I think we got Love and Pete speechless right now.
Yeah, me and Love just looking at each other
like where did this go? Love.
Part of me wanted to say it makes sense, right? Because like she's arguably more talented than Beyonce. Yes. Arguably. Right?
Come for us, Bayhive. Come for us.
We don't got shit else to do.
I mean, so it makes sense as someone who respects art to say that I love this woman, right? And to pen a love letter to her. But I was like, but it's Solange, though.
You know what? Love.
I can't talk about anybody's crushes as I am still in love with Fantasia Barrino. So I let people be where they are.
We ain't going to say nothing.
Please don't. I fight.
Love.
I fight.
Tell the people, just give them a recap. Where to find you, how to find you.
Easiest way to find me is TateESQ.com. So that's TateESQ.com. Feel free to call me, text me on a cell 314-243-8810. That's 314-243-8810. I will get at you as soon as I can to help you out. And even if I can't help you, I'll point you in the direction of the help that you do need so you can get it. Because this problem is huge. And we shouldn't come out of here realizing our dreams educationally, but feeling crippled in our dreams personally because of our student loan debt that we didn't really understand what we were getting into to begin with. Mm-hmm. And we shouldn't be crippled even when there's solutions. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is just take advantage of those solutions.
True. I agree. And I'm gonna just piggyback and say, yo, as black people who've been working and we know better, we need to start using the hell out of our network. Like, man, breaking bread with people that we know, just sharing experiences with them, putting them in positions, because I always say this, they the ones who gonna lift us up. We're gonna lift each other up. And y'all know people think I'm crazy sometimes, and I said one day, I was like, yo, like one day in the group me, I was like, we need to damn to get all our lawyer friends together and see what we got to do to make them judges in 10 to 15 years. Yep. And it was like silent as fuck, but I'm like, nah, like I really need some judges but I'm serious, like, that when we look at our network and see people and see their strengths, we definitely need to build with them now, because in a few years we gonna be in the power, and all our generation under us, the kids younger than us, the kids we have, they gonna need some help, and we need to have enough weight to throw around to help them.
Yep. And that's leveraging your assets, and it's not hard to do, right? Like this the reason why I'm here is off of a comment on a Facebook post, right?
Right.
Like, yo, I like what y'all did. Is there a way for me to get down with y'all on this one? Can you come to Chicago? Fuck yes, I'll be right there. Let's do this.
Right.
Here's some dates. I'll take the first one. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Right? And it's just that easy to take advantage of relationships and build from that standpoint so we all can support one another right there. And you may not be a protester. You may not be someone to write a petition letter, things like that. But this is a form of revolution inside of itself. It's taking advantage of assets and trying to build upon it, right?
Exactly. Love, thank you for coming, brother.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Man, no foreplay. We out.
No foreplay.